I've paid for a .Mac subscription from Apple, and I've also paid for an MSN subscription from Microsoft. And I've paid about the same amount for each one. For a while, I dropped .Mac and then picked it up again when they announced a few new services with it and the subscription. And it's, I think, been worth it, especially to have the synchronization features that .Mac offers. Of course, I can't call it .Mac for much longer because today Apple announced a complete rebrand. .Mac henceforth will be known as MobileMe. And it makes a heck of a lot of sense. And if you're asking if MobileMe is worth the subscription price of $99 a year for one person or $149 for a family plan, my answer is yes, especially if you have an iPhone. Now, if you don't have an iPhone, is MobileMe still worth it? Well, yeah, because you still get great synchronization features, you still get web-based applications, and you get a good experience, no matter if you're running on a Mac or on Windows or just any PC in general. MobileMe is giving you access to 20 gigabytes of space in the cloud, as they say. And with that, you can throw your photos on there. You got email. You've got the ability to have a calendar and share that calendar with your family or just about anybody for that matter. You have the ability to use either Apple's programs like Mail app or iCal or even Microsoft Outlook to access your account. And I know you're thinking, well, Chris, I already have a free Gmail account. Why would I want to get MobileMe? Well, again, if you have the iPhone, MobileMe is just kind of a no-brainer. Is it expensive? Yeah. But here's my situation. I'm already paying, I'd say roughly about the same amount for an Exchange account where I can get my email hosted, my calendars hosted, etc., and then I can share it with my wife, Ponzi. So I'm already paying for email. And you may be too. And if you're not, hey, great. If you're fine with getting away with those free services, great. MobileMe is not for you. If you don't want to pay anything, fine. But before you pass judgment, I suggest watching the tour, stepping through the tour, which right now is at apple.com/MobileMe. And right up front right now it says push email, push contacts, and push calendar. Again, the whole idea is that it's going to enable you to have the same data everywhere, on your phone, on your laptop or notebook computer, and on your desktop. One of the reasons why Ponzi and I started to use an Exchange account for our email and calendars was that we were tired of synchronizing and putting this file here and that file here and losing this PST and putting that there, never having the right contacts, never knowing if you've synchronized it. Well, the idea of push automatically is that if you change something here, it automatically updates there. And then when it updates there, it automatically updates there. It's just always the same data, no matter what device you're accessing it from. And that is what MobileMe is going to enable you to do. In fact, right up front, they say it's Exchange for the rest of us. Now, up front, I don't know if MobileMe and the features that it's going to do, the push email, push contacts, push calendar, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the email portion of it because they haven't mentioned anything about custom domains. I have a domain, lockergnome.com. My email address is chris@perillo.com. I would love to use the web-based mail app that they've been demonstrating in the walkthroughs because it looks absolutely beautiful. The photo app, the web-based photo app in MobileMe looks absolutely beautiful. They are really understanding that it's less about where you are and more about where your stuff is. You don't want to have to think, oh, did I synchronize this? Did I update that? Did I put this here? Right now, and I likely will use this indefinitely, I'm using Plaxo, which was an application or I guess a web service that was recently acquired by Comcast. I use that to synchronize my desktop with my Google Calendar, and then from there I can access it on devices like my iPhone or really anywhere. it's going to be really interesting to see how many Windows users, or even Linux users, PC people, pick up and subscribe to MobileMe, because there are a lot of Windows users who have an iPhone, right? And do they want to have access to photo storage, and have access to a nice web-based calendar, no matter their operating system? Do they have an email address? You probably already have an email address. That's probably not as big a deal for someone like you. It's more of a big a deal for someone who doesn't have something like that, or certainly doesn't have an easy way of managing it. I'm really curious to know how they're going to support, if they are going to support any kind of custom domains with email. But as I mentioned in another video, the next version of Mac OS X, the desktop operating system from Apple, is going to support Exchange directly on the desktop. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more interplay for people like myself who already have an Exchange account. MobileMe, they say right up front, it's all about making your data accessible just about anywhere. It's pretty much .Mac, only it's been rebranded as MobileMe, which to me does make sense, because it's all about enabling me to access the same stuff, my stuff, anywhere and everywhere. So you've got the iDisk, your photo gallery, calendar, contacts, mail. The other, generally, most of the other services are still intact. The services that you're used to with .Mac, there's a few of them that have been dropped. I think iCards, that was a bonus for .Mac, and I don't know anybody who ever used that, so it's fine that they drop support for that in MobileMe. And as I said, the pricing's pretty competitive. It's something that I will likely be signing up for a family plan on, if only to have access to 40 gigabytes of storage in the cloud that can be used for temporary storage or just backup storage. A way to have a nicer calendaring experience between me and the rest of my family. This is the way I think we're going to be marching forward, living more on the web. I've mentioned this, 1,000 times. And Microsoft is certainly not out of this race yet. They, a few weeks ago, announced Live Mesh. And I'm not going to say it's exactly like MobileMe. For one, you need to have Windows apps. At least that's what other people are stating. Because I haven't used it. I don't have access to it. They've just got a tech preview at this point in time. But with it, you can keep your devices in sync. You can have shared folders. A live desktop. The idea is, again, to make your life and the data in your life decentralized. And some people are nervous about this. People like my parents, they're like, I don't know about putting my stuff out there on the web. I'm like, I don't think you're going to have much of a choice. It's just the way it's going to be. It's a reality for some of us that we have more than one computer. And maybe we have more than 2 computers in our house. That's my life. And I've got 3 computers, if you will. I've got an iPhone, I've got a notebook computer, and I've got my desktop. Not to mention a zillion other computers around the house. PCs, Macs, doesn't matter to me. It's a computer. So I want to get to my data no matter where I'm at. And MobileMe is a step in the right direction. If you don't want to pay the money, no one's forcing you to do it. I'm saying, though, that it's going to be nice for a lot of people who have to deal with more than one computer. Now, if you don't, it's not that big a deal. If you don't have the iPhone, then it's even less of a big deal. But if you have more than one device, MobileMe will be nice. It'll be interesting to see if Microsoft kind of ups the ante and makes the Live Mesh more compatible with devices that aren't Windows centric. Because Apple kind of said, "Hey, we'll work anywhere." Gotta hand that to Apple there. That's kind of nice to see and hear. So anyway, MobileMe. I'm certainly going to be continuing my .Mac subscription. Can't call it that anymore. It's called MobileMe. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Have you had it before? Have you subscribed to MSN before? Are you using Live Mesh? What do you think? Is it good? Is it something you'd recommend for others? And by others, I mean like regular people, not just other geeks. That's kind of the end game for all this. It's not about what you and I think. It's what the people who don't know much about what you and I know, what they think. So to get to that point, we got to talk about it. We got to make this industry better. We got to help other people as much as we possibly can. Even though when they ask for our advice and we give it to them, they don't listen to us, and then they get mad at us because they did something that we suggested they not do, and they did it anyway, and then they get mad. Like we haven't walked down that path before a million times. But we can't say I told you so. Oh, heaven forbid. My email address is chris@perillo.com. You're also welcome to leave a comment or remark what your thoughts are on all these services. What are you waiting for? What are you not anticipating? What do you not like about these things? And then, of course, you're also welcome to swing by the chat room, which is streaming pretty much all the time. Because it's just people going back and forth about technology topics in general. And we're also, doing this live video thing right now. Like, as you're watching this video, I'm actually doing something else, and you can watch me doing that something else, possibly with the people in the chat room. But there's only one place to find that, and that's at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.